Okay, there we go. Welcome everybody to Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dee Dee, and thanks everybody for being here. Apparently, one of the girls said that we are trending on Ustream. So thanks, you streamers. Oh, that's awesome. So thanks everybody for being here. Oh, let me loosen my cord back up here on my camera so it's not moving my camera. There we go. All right, so a little while ago we drew a betta fish. We drew a betta fish, and I'm going to post it on my blog. And anybody that wants to print it out and enhance the betta fish, because, you know, the betta fish is in beta. Okay, so now we're going to go on. I know Carrie got that. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on to this. So Kelly P sent me it's an early birthday present because, let's tilt my camera just a little. She had to order it from, she ordered it from Amazon, but it came from Poland. It's a little crooked. Oh, well, I think you can see it. So it does take a while if you get... No, I did not, Bunny. Not yet. I'll let you know. Lindsay's going, oh no, Dee Dee, another color book. So what I wanted to say, though, is if you order this off of Amazon and the name of her, if you just look up her name, I know it's in Polish. I translated, I ran it through the Polish translator, and it says after other part of dream. That's the exact translation of this right here. Is after other part of dream. So, you know, like after the other half of the dream or part of the, you know, I'm not sure what the grammatical translation should be exactly, but if you just run this through the Polish translator, it comes up after other part of dream. Okay? And her name is Karolina with a K. I know it's hard to see. Karolina with a K. Karolina. Last name Kubikowska. 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 If you look her up, I checked it out. It immediately comes up to her color book. Okay. I think somebody said they'll be coming out with an English version of this. So in the meantime, it may take a while if you order it from Amazon, because they go through like a third party. You know how Amazon does. And so it took a month for this one to get to me when Kelly ordered it for me. It just came Saturday. So anyway, we're going to color in this. I've already colored a little bit in it. And I do have to say, if you open the book to flatten out the pages like this, if you open it up to break the spine, you can't, I had one page come loose. It doesn't matter to me if a page comes out, but just be aware, if you smash down the spine to crease the spine, a page might come loose. I've only had one come loose, but just so you know. So we're going to do a flip through this. And then I'll show you a couple of the... Oh, you just put in Polish coloring book and it came up, Vicky S? Okay. Yeah. Hey, Vicky BR. Yeah, Kelly P sent it to me for my birthday, for an early birthday gift. Yeah. My birthday's in February. Yeah. So, hey, Taps. So we're going to do a little flip through. I know it might kind of flash out. We'll see what we can do. But I want to show you. She does have some areas that are colored. Now, the pages that are colored, I've colored, but not like some of these intro pages in this. It's all in Polish. So it did come out in 2015 and in Poland, you know. So I'm just going to do a flip through here. The lines are very bold and black and a lot of splotchy, and the paper, some of it looks like almost like like what you'd work on a pastel sheet of paper if you've ever seen a pastel paper, and then some of it looks like it's on watercolor paper. Now that being said, there's no texture. There's no texture. All the pages feel exactly the same, but it has the look of watercolor paper. See? And, oh, you got your new coffee, but yay, Muse! It's a thing of beauty. Muse goes, I got my new coffee machine. It's a thing of beauty. And it's got a timer on it. Well, anyway, so like this. This was already colored. So I think that the watercolor look, see how, and again, it has a watercolor paper texture. It's not textured. It's not actually textured. It just has the look, that like it's like a photograph of watercolor paper, right? But because it has this watercolor splashy look, that's kind of how I want to work in it. I've done a little bit with Neo color in it so far, and with no color pencil yet. So you'll see when you get to a page that I've done. Okay, so this is already like this. It has a look of a piece of Scotch tape there on craft paper, a photograph of stitching. Okay, so this is already done. Yeah, Pat, I know. And so, again, a lot of splashes. And so it just lends itself for you to want to slop on some watercolor. And that's what we're going to do. Okay? Yeah, visual texture. Thank you, Kimmerby. Visual texture. That's the perfect description. Thank you, Kimmerby. And so I'm just going to do a flip through here. This one has like jewels in it, like crystals and jewels. I think that's the one from the cover. Maybe part of it anyway. So yeah. So some pages run vertical like this, and some are horizontal 2-page spreads like this. Well, I guess this could go either way, but yeah. And so there's just little bits of ferns and all kinds of things along the side. So here's more crystals and acorns. Again, apparently it's from, her dreams. That's the title of the book in English, After Other Part of Dream. So, yeah. Owls. And again, some writing. I have no idea it's in Polish. I could run this through the translator as well, but I didn't. So, yeah. So I'm just going to keep flipping. So it's a cool book. Again, nice big black bold lines, which when you add watercolor splashes to it, are going to be probably really, really cool. Okay, these look like some Venus flytraps, exaggerated with teeth. I love that, right? That's a yummy book, yeah. Okay, so here on this cat, I did start coloring it with some Neo colors. So again, I just added a couple shades of grays, a couple shades of peach. And then again, if you add the colors around, like just pick 3 or 4, at the most 5 main colors, then if you do it like that, it keeps your page cohesive. So I use the pink in the ears and the pink in these little buds down here. Yeah. Okay. Again, more in Polish, so I can't translate. And again, I did, bend the spine to make the book lie flat, and one page did come out by doing that. So, but I wanted the book flat. I'm thinking we might color this, or I might continue to work on some of the ones. See, there's part of her story is all in here. It's all, in here, which would be awesome to translate. But hopefully they'll come out with the English version. Okay, so I worked on these two. Again, just some Neo color washes. Neo color 2. Let me specify. If you get Neo color 2, water-soluble crayons. If you get the 1s, they're not water-soluble. I like to say that every time because, and it's just one layer. There's not any shading yet. I just put one, layer of, see, and look, this one's wanting to come out because I've, bent the spine as far as I could. So, some of the Polish coloring book with, yes, that's what this is. Yeah. So here's one of the pages that came loose. And I, I can't blame the book. I mean, I deliberately broke the spine to get it to, be flat. And of course, if I color these and I like them, I'll put them in my color because they will fit. They'll fit in my binder. Let me tell you the size of this real quick. The pages are right at 9 by 8 3/4, something like that. So it's so cool, isn't it, guys? Maybe we should do a flower. This would be good. And see, you can still see sketch lines on some of it. See your sketch lines there? Would be happy the pages would come out easily. You tear all yours out. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. Maybe we'll do a bird or a flower. And I can work a little bit on the ones I've already done. But just so you can kind of get an idea. But apparently everybody that's colored in it loves it, that it's so dark. Because you add a minimal amount of color and it just shows up. Plus, somebody also said that ink tints work well in this. So maybe we'll do a little ink tints test. People are always asking me to use ink tints pencils, the Derwent ink tints pencils more. So maybe we'll do a little ink tints test. Say that 3 times fast. Ink tints test. I like these butterflies too. That and the tree. This might be a good one to do with some ink tints. And a little apple there. Let's put a post-it note to try this one with ink tints. Now, always remember though, this, the pages are a little, they're pretty good size, but no pages are going to hold up to like Copics and stuff like that without going through. I did have another person ask a question about, when you do Neo-color or watercolor washes or even acrylic paint washes, craft paint, this is the kind of paint that I use, just craft paint when I do acrylic paint washes, doesn't it ever come through? And I have to kind of re-stress that as long as what makes the paint come through, now again, alcohol markers is a whole nother ball game. But what makes watered down paint or watercolor or ink tints watered down or anything like that, what makes it come through is not the paint. It's the water. When you wet your page so much that you saturate the page, the water breaks down the paper and the water comes through and brings with it whatever you had. So anytime you're using watercolor down acrylic washes or anything like that, you just have to do it in layers. So do a wash and let it dry. Then add another wash and let it dry. Because this is not watercolor paper where you can just add wash after wash after wash on top of it and get it darker and darker and darker. The water is going to break down the paper. So, yeah. So, what do y'all think? Aren't they cool? There's some wings. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps. So here's some more of her story in Polish. So, yeah. Maybe, I don't know if I'll take the time. Maybe I'll do a few sentences like, here's something, I know the word is symbolism right there, or symbol. You can just tell that that's, that. But it would be kind of cool to run it through the Polish translator. If y'all have never done that, you just go to Google and put in whatever language you want to translate. And if it's online, you can just copy and paste it in. Now, if it's something like this, I'd have to type it all in, right? I'd have to type in the lettering, the words. But you can go to any language can be translated. Well, it's kind of hard to do that, Barb. Unless someone's a paper expert, it would be hard for someone just to say, okay, let's feel this. Okay, that's a 90-pound weight. I can guess, but I couldn't say for like as for certain. And every single paper is different. Some are real thin, like I could say, oh, that feels like copy paper, 65 pound or whatever. And then again, you'd have to translate it into what, GSM, is that what it is for European? But so it's going to be different depending on the country that it came from. But also, just by feel, I can guess, but I can't say for certain, I wouldn't want to do a show on saying, okay, this is 65 pound and not knowing for sure, right? And so that is the book there. I think it's something, of course, if you have Amazon Prime and different things, I think it runs somewhere around $20, $19.95. If you have Prime or, you can get it a little bit cheaper and stuff. So here's the one page that pulled out right there. So, yeah. So it's really a beautiful book. Okay, so now let's go back and I want to do a couple different things. Let's do some washes with Neo color on one page, and then maybe we'll do this one. I'll just keep that in there. Some Inktense practice. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Good to have you. One of a Quan. I follow her on, she's a beautiful young lady. One of a Quan on Instagram. Yeah, thanks. Welcome, One of a Quan. I'm going to get this book again. You gave yours away. It's called Other Side of Dream. Yeah, that's what we translated. I just literally put this in the Polish translator, and it came up after other part of dream. That was what came up in the Polish translation. Now, again, yeah, it's in Polish, so you have to look it up by her name. Or Vicky BR says she just put in Polish color book, and this came up. So on Amazon. So either put in Polish color book or put in Karolina with a K, Karolina, Kubikowska, Kubikowska with an A. So yeah. All right, so let's do this one maybe in some Neo color and some watercolor washes. And then we'll go do this one with some Inktense, just to practice some different ones. Again, I've already played with some with the Neo color, and I've not done any. This is all I've done. Is just play with a few pages, skipping around. Where's the other one I worked on? There's a double page spread in here somewhere I'm working on. This one. So this one right here, this is just an initial wash of the Neo colors. Right here, which you can use any watercolor. You just don't want to oversaturate. Don't oversaturate your page on like going over and over and over it again. If you get it wet, keep it as, don't keep layering water. That's what I try to say. Don't keep layering water unless it's, it's dry. All right, so we're going to go ahead. Maybe we'll do, and again, I don't know that I'll finish it, but we'll maybe do these two pages with just some Neo color, watercolor. So I got my watercolors here, and then I'll bring out my Neo Color 2's water soluble crayons. And again, this is a large set. Hubster bought it for my birthday. I think it's going on 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I think that he bought this for me. But you don't need this many colors to color in a color book. Trust me. If you have a smaller set of these, it goes a long way. And if you have a tray, like I have this porcelain tray here, which you can get these in Blick or any place that has, sells watercolors. Or even if you have you can use the tray. This is the same thing here. Same thing. You can use this, okay? And you can mix a lot of colors. Like, let me just get a red and a yellow here just to show as a little demo. So if you scrape off some red, scrape off some yellow, get your water brush, and I just use these Pentel water brushes. They come in different size tips, and you can do a lot of mixing, just like you can't, because it is watercolor. It's pigment, watercolor pigment in a stick. But make sure you get the Neo color too, because the ones are not, they're just crayons. So see, you can do a lot of mixing. And the thing about doing something on here, on a tray like this, hang on, let me get just all you have to do is take a baby wipe and you can clean out the whole tray. Now this works with watercolor mediums, not acrylic paint. You can't just wipe out dried acrylic paint on here. Okay, just want to say that. Even if you water down your acrylic paint, it's not just going to wipe out like that, because acrylic paint's much more permanent. Okay, so what I want to do, hopefully we got good lighting and color going on here. I know it kind of changes, especially with a white paper like this. With white paper, it wants to kind of flash in and out. Can you mix your own? No, the pencils are not waxy. The pencils, I mean, you might be able to make a little bit of mark, but it's not going to mark down on here. Now, what you can do is you can put your ink tints out on a piece of paper and scribble it out. Bunny Designs has a whole book on all her water mediums, where you can scribble it down on a piece of paper and pick it up that way. But you can't put it on this. It won't adhere. But you can take your ink tints pencils and scrub it on a piece of paper and then mix it over here. We'll do that when we go to the ink tints on the next page. All right, so now again, I'm just going to do, I don't know that I'm going to finish it from start to finish. We'll see how much time it takes us to do this and all. Okay, but I'm thinking now if I do like pink and red roses, even if I just do pink, let's go ahead and I think I want to go with, instead of pink, maybe a magenta. Let's see. Or maybe I can do some magenta and maybe kind of take a white and get a nice richer pink. Something like that. Can y'all see that? The other thing about the Neo colors and the ink tints is you can just pull it right off the crayon itself. So I can pull it right off the crayon itself. And I could probably put some white down here, pick off with this and kind of mix it. Because I kind of want a purpley pink rather than just like a bright pink. But I don't really want it this dark either. I don't want it that dark, except maybe in the shadows. So let's just try this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go here in these buds just to start. This is a double page spread. So I'm just going to, because I'm doing a double page spread, I'm not going to be real zoomed in. But I think y'all can see. I'll try to hold it up and all. So I'm going to put some down, and I'm going to put some more white down in my tray so I can kind of water it, like lighten it down. And, you know, if I want a little bit more, I can pick off a little more. And, oh, the other thing I want to say is how I clean my brush off. If I'm going from color to color, I got too much pigment, then a Kleenex is the best thing. It works even better than a paper towel. Can you use some purple? Well, probably not now. Maybe on the next one. On the ink tints one, we'll see what we might use some purple. All right, so I'm just going to go in here, and I just want to get the buds. Now remember, there's leaves coming up around the buds too, so I'll kind of avoid the leaves. I'm just doing, I'm going to put some more white down on the tray to pick that up off the tray. So I'm just going to kind of go around and first start with the little buds. Again, you can see some leaves coming around, so I'll leave those. Can you see? It's a very watercolory look. Yeah, you could do that. But the thing about ink tints, once it's 100% dry, it's ink. It's not watercolor. Ink tints are ink. So when it's 100% dry, it's supposed to be 100% permanent. This is not. These are not permanent. So even when they're dry, I can go back in here and move it around and it'll still move. So that's a difference between the two. One's ink. I mean, I can go in here with some ink tints and color like the leaves with the ink tints. You can put whatever you want on your page, mix it, but this is not permanent. Hey, Debbie. Anybody else popping in I might have missed? I loved your video, Deb, on Facebook when the grands came to the door. Or when you came to the door and the grands answered. Yeah. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I just want to get a full-on coverage over this whole rose. Again, I'm not doing any blending yet. I just want to get it covered. You can do this with just plain watercolor. I got my watercolors here, which, by the way, let me go ahead and reconstitute them. I'm just going to spray them down and get them wet. So if I need those, because I'm just using whatever I feel like. Right now, it's the Neo colors. So, and I'm not squeezing my brush. I'm not squeezing out excess water, okay? If I want this pink to be darker, I'm not going to do it right now unless I dry it. Because if I keep adding water to this, it will eventually break down the paper and go through. Not because of the paint, but because of the water. It's the water that goes through your page. Okay, so again, let me add a little bit more white on my tray because I want to white this down just a little, pink it down just a little. But I'm not squeezing out excess water out of the brush. Hopefully you can see this. It's not close up, but it's pretty basic. Just coloring it a flat, wash here. You have ink tints, pencils, and love them. I have gelatos I'm not a fan of gelatos. And the same thing for the portfolio. I like the portfolio oil, water-soluble oil pastels, but you can't put pencil over those. And most everything I like to do, I like pencil. I'm not sure how well pencil is going to go over gelatos you could probably get away with it in a little, I don't know. No, not me. I don't want to fight a medium to color over with pencil because y'all know I do all my shading with pencil. All the shading will be done. I mean, I can go back in here and add some more dark, and you don't have to add pencil if you don't want. You can just keep shading with your watercolor, but make sure it's dry. Make sure it's dry. I can't stress that enough. If you don't let this dry and I start shading darker and darker, it's going to go through because you'll break down the paper. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, I love the ink tints colors too. Now, Eileen's not a big fan of ink tints. But you can use it in the same way. You can, color down some and move it, or my favorite way to use them though is just to pull it mostly off, because if you color down with your ink tints pencil, you have to almost scrub it a little bit with your water brush to get it to no lines in it. Whereas if you just pull it off the pencil, it'll move around. Okay, but I really want to keep them separate because people are going to get confused. Well, I thought you said you could move around. No, that was the ink tints. So let's just do one medium at a time here. So I'm just going to pick up some more here. But the trick is not to oversaturate your paper. You have to let it dry in between layers. And I'm going over here to pick up white. Okay. Let's do this little bud here. So yeah. All right. Just kind of looking around. And you could do the background first, especially if you're going to do a big water splash or something. I'm just kind of just picking this up for this way for now. And the paper does buckle a little bit. Again, that's going to depend on how much water you add to it. Okay. All right, so leave that color out because I might use it again. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and get in, let me just go ahead and use some watercolor just to show you, because I'm going to use Neo and watercolor on here. So I want to get some like olivey green. Let me make a little space here for some olive green here. And again, if you get too much pigment on there, just kind of pull it off with your Kleenex, because I want to do these leaves. I want to do the leaves in an olive color. So I'm coming right over here and picking up the olive color and doing all the base leaves. So I think that's kind of pretty explanatory. I know I get like real adamant about the layering of water, but you know, people go, well, it went through. Well, you probably got your paper too wet. You can't let it get wet. I mean, you can't get it so saturated that it breaks down the paper. All right, so this is, again, I'm just going to do a base coat of all the leaves in the olive color. Let me pull a little more. And you can vary it, you know, a few shades here. You could pick up 2 or 3 greens at one time, just like you would a watercolor, and blend a few shades of green together. I don't think do we have a bot? For some reason, we haven't had a bot for a while, unless, whoops, all right, got that too dark. Unless I'm just missing the bot in the chat. But, I mean, there is a person behind the bot sometimes, but not all the time. If you have a bot in your channel, just because there's a bot doesn't mean there's a person behind it, although sometimes there is. The bot doesn't know how to make a heart either. Yeah, some of the emojis changed in YouTube, Ustream. So the girls are going, how do I make my heart emoji? Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you, FL Birder. There's another. Let me get that. I got enough in my pan over here. I forgot this bud. Thank you. All right. Very observant. Or I'm just coming over here and getting more of the olive green. Just kind of basing it in. I need to go get some more coffee. Now, we can layer. We can add more layers here after it's dry. After it's dry. Hope I'm staying in camera. I know, guys, it wants to... I'm trying to keep it not too dark and not too... there, see, it kind of flashes in and out. But if I lighten it up, then it'll just flash out. So we're going to have to go with this. Got a little too much water there. And again, you don't have to hurry through the process. Yeah, I've used gelatos. If I had a choice, just me, because I don't have a lot of them. I think I have 6 or 8 gelatos. I've used the water soluble Portfolio brand from Staples, water soluble oil pastels in mixed media. Americana paints are very inexpensive. You can get them under $1. They'll go on sale. You can get, I think they're only like $1.29 normally. They always have sales, 30% off your total purchase and things like that. I love my Americana craft paints for watering down and doing backgrounds and washes and all that. And they just have good colors. If you were going to get Neo2's, I would suggest getting a couple. You know, get a red, yellow, and blue if you're just going to order them individually and see if you like them first. You don't want to order this set over here, although I'm sure I got it 50% off for my when it was my birthday month at the time at Blick, 50% off. But they run just like, I don't know, $189 for a set like this. But if you get them 50% off and even a smaller set, because this is a lot of colors. I find I don't even use all the colors. Just saying, you know. So yeah. All right, let's go down here to this little one, this little bud. Okay, there's another little flower in there. I guess I'll just go ahead and do that. Kind of the pink too. Let's just go ahead and stick with the colors. All right. Oh, back to the green. A little bit down here. Are y'all able to see? Again, you know, it's kind of tricky sometimes coloring with white. I could put the camera up on Trippy, the tripod, and get right up on it. But since I'm doing a double page spread, I'm kind of staying far away because of the 2-page. Yeah, there's packs of 15. Yeah, just get a small one to start with, because unless you know you're going to like them. Thanks, Vicky. So yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and do her hand. Let's do her kind of a dark skin. Let's see. Let me put down some color here and just kind of test it out. And I need a little bit, let's put a little bit of two-tone here so it's not a flat color. If you mix a couple colors together, it makes it less flat. So, she has some kind of a Hindi design or something on her hand there. So I'm just going back and forth, you know, kind of mixing those two shades together so it gives it more depth when you have a few colors of whatever, especially in skin. And again, this is just the initial wash, which I don't want to oversaturate. Let's just, not add any more until that dries. You just received your koi watercolors from Amazon. I need to practice with them before trying them in a color book. Well, here's the thing, and I do have one printed out because I was thinking of maybe testing it out also on a piece of cardstock. I printed one out on cardstock. So again, here's another tip if you're terrified of coloring in a new color book that you just absolutely love and don't want to mess it up. Print you out one on cardstock to practice on. Now, be aware, depending on the kind of inkjet printer you have, I have a Epson Artesian, but depending on the kind of ink that your inkjet printer has, this could move. The black ink can move. Now, I found that my Artesian, and Jean has the same one, I found that on the Artesian, on just cardstock, this is just Staples cardstock, 110 weight, that it doesn't move much. I mean, I could probably sit here and go, and make that ink move. But I found that even with the Copic test, now of course the Copic went through, but the Copic didn't even move my ink in my inkjet printer. Again, not scrubbing it down. I'm sure I could make that ink move. But my point is if you'll just print you out a practice page, if you're terrified of working in your new book and afraid of messing it up, then print it out on a piece of cardstock and practice your watercolor, your Neo color, your shading, whatever. But just be aware that your ink from your particular brand of inkjet printer might move. Yeah, well, hibiscus. Yeah, if you're in Australia, of course, you're going to pay more for anything that you import. But again, my camera. Hang on, guys. I need to tilt my camera just a little to get my page straight. There you go. But I mean, I can't think of a better craft paint than the Americana. That's just me. I like it. No one's paying me to say that. I just like my Deco Art Americana craft paint. But yeah, nothing's going to run cheap if you have to import it from another country, obviously. All right, so there we go for that. I think I'm going to think of her little blouse here as lace. So I'm going to just take a blue-gray. Let's just go with a blue-gray. This one is sky blue. It's kind of a blue-gray for some shadows because I want to keep it white. But I'm just going to pull in a little bit of, because I want the lace to have shadow, but I'm going to keep it white. So I'm just going to put a little bit of, just a minimal amount of color, like that. So yeah. Hey Paula, we're coloring in the book I told you about. Okay, so now I got to think about all the watercolor background. And I just like the way she kind of splashed in her examples here. It's toward the front. See how she just kind of splashed some in? Something like that. Now again, to do that on this paper, we are going to have to be conscious of how much water we add, okay? It's probably also a good idea. Let's see, do I have a piece of, yeah. It's probably also a good idea if you're going to go right up to the edge, to put a piece of, wax paper or something so it doesn't, you're not going to get all these pages wet on the edge. So let's see, what color do I want to use? I'm really liking that sky blue. Maybe we'll start with that, okay? So what I'm going to do, though, is I want to get a nice amount wet and ready to go, okay? So I'm going to get a bunch here. I'm squeezing out my brush now, just to get quite a bit made so that I can just do a nice wash on the page without making it disconnected, okay? So there's quite a bit of water in here, and I'm going to do a light wash. So I'm picking up that paint over there, and I want to go right up to the edge, and I'll probably have to make some more. But now I'm not squeezing out any water. I'm just kind of making it kind of flow. Now this is going to be the initial layer. Don't try to get this too dark right now with one layer of water, because you will go through with the water. Okay, so just kind of see. Now I'm going to scrape up some more, and once this is dry, we can add another layer. I know that might sound self-explanatory, but if you just don't want to oversaturate your page. I gotta let that dry before I add any more. There, right there. Okay, so I'm just scraping out some more. I'm going to continue on here. And all the little places that the little dots are is just kind of where I'm going with it. You could add more, like you could add green right around here. I'm just going with the one color for the background for now. I might end up changing my mind, but so I'm just scraping it out on the porcelain, wetting it down, and pulling it out. The reason I'm doing that, if I do this right off the thing, it's going to be very dark, and I don't want that dark, so that's why I'm kind of watering it down over here. I'm just scraping some off, wetting it down, and putting it on. Okay. And I think I'm almost out of water in my brush. I'm just kind of feathering it out. No particular order. I'm just kind of following some of those little dots. Yeah, when you're using water medium on your color book pages, layering is, you got to not oversaturate your page, because, yeah, that's the part that will make your paper break down. And I just kind of want that watercolory look. And then you can go back with color pencils and do more shading. Or when it's dry, go in with more water soluble mediums on your page when it's dry. But even if you want to go in with color pencil, you have to make sure this is dry. Color pencil, your wax color, well, any color pencil, not unless it's a watercolor pencil, of course. You could put a watercolor pencil. But let me get quite a bit out there so I can get a good bit. Wax pencils or oil-based pencils are not going to go over wet paper. This has got to be dry before you can go in here with your pencils. Okay, y'all have any questions, just put them in caps. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue on here. If you're just coming in, I did do a complete flip through this book. Okay, I'm almost out of water. I'm going to have to go fill my brush. I did a complete flip through this book. It's from Poland. It's all written in Polish. I'm not sure when or if they're going to come out with an English version. But, so in the meantime, if you order it on Amazon, it has to come from Poland, so it takes a little longer to get it. Rebecca says, listen to Dee Dee, I've done everything wrong she's mentioned. Well, you know, that's how we learn too, you know. But there's no sense in ruining a color book if I can tell you not to do something so you don't ruin your color book. Right? All right, let me go get some water in my brush. Hang on. Rebecca. And I do need some coffee. My coffee's sitting over here cold. Let me dry the barrel there. Okay, so again, see, I'm just putting out and then just wetting it and picking it up. And I want that watercolor effect, you know, that mottled looking effect. So I'm kind of just going here and there and just kind of just going where the little dots are, the little ink dots that she has there for now. Just not go off the edge and go to the next page. So you kind of get the idea, right? Bye, Birder. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. I hope everybody made you feel welcome. We like to make sure the new people feel welcome. If you could stay for 5 more minutes, we're going to do a giveaway. All right, so now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take my wax paper. I'm really not going off the edge much, but just to be safe, it doesn't hurt to put something behind there if you're going to go off the edge. Yeah, we're going to give away our week 3 Happy Mail packets. You know, I made 40 of them. It's old Happy Mail and cards and ATCs and all different kinds of things that I've got over the last 6 years. And what I did is I made little packets to give out all year long. So I've made 40. Of course, if I run out, I can always make more, you know, but I have them all ready. So I'm just kind of going right like behind here and get some shadows going. It's very soft. Hey, Queen Pam, how you doing? Janet made her a pen nib holder like the one you made me, Pam. And Pam, I know she says she didn't invent it, but Pam, Queen Pam made me one, and then Janet made herself one. It's a pen nib holder made out of corrugate, or some people say cardboard, but we don't say cardboard around here, do we, Paula? It's corrugate. The kind of cardboard that has fluting in it. I'm just constantly just scraping off some more here, guys, and adding water to it to make it watered down. I'll show mine again. Everybody loves it, and every time I show it, everybody loves it. Well, Janet, who does calligraphy and knit and line pin work and stuff, there's not a pin Janet doesn't own. Let's put it that way. She loved it so much she made herself one. So thanks for sharing that with us. That's some years ago. I don't know how many years ago you sent that to me, Pam. And Pam has a blog, a YouTube channel, Queen Pam. I think is it B, how is it broke down on your YouTube, the name of your channel, Pam? I have it saved in my favorites as Queen Pam, but I know it's Bauer. If you put it in there, I'll re-say it. But, yeah, Queen Pam's got a good channel. She always does all kinds of things. She doesn't post, like, you know, every day or anything, but thanks. Yeah, I like the watercolory effect, too. Just kind of, you know, moving it around. No particular order other than kind of following her little splatters. Yeah, okay. Janet said, there are pens I don't have, and I must get them. Janet streams at 1 on Mondays now. She's Monkey Island Madness. And she streams at 1 on Mondays. All right, so there, I think that I at least got the base. I mean, I can go back in here, guys. I can go back in here once it's dry. Again, I need to hit this with the heat gun to make sure. And add more, right? You know, I might want a little bit pulled out, or, you know, different areas, shaded darker around the leaves. We can do all that, but you got to let this dry or hit it with the heat gun. Make sure it's dry. Let me stop real quick and get that little pen nib holder. I don't have every single one of my nibs in here, but I have the bulk of them. So it's a little corrugate. It's a little corrugate cardboard, if you will, with fluting, little box, and she's got it all completely covered with packing tape to, you know, make it extra secure. She has a little magnet right there, and you open it up, and it goes this way. You open it up and look at all there's her business. Let me take her business card out so you can see from the side and different. So it's different layers of the corrugate, and see the fluting. So in the fluting, you can stick your little nibs. They just fit right in the flute. And so there's like all these layers. Well, here's one layer here. So let's just do the layers. Whoops, one fell out. Hang on. Let's put this one back in. So let me just kind of flip through oh, I didn't get that one back in there either. All right, there we go. All right, so you can see there's layer, 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 layer. And so you just stick your nibs right in the little flute. And you can make sure they're in there secure. Because, you know, it's cardboard, if you will, corrugate, and you can, like, jam them down in there, and they're not going to go anywhere if you get them in there nice and secure. So isn't that the awesomest thing to hold your pen nibs? So, yeah, Queen Pam, who's here. Again, did she put her YouTube channel in there? Because if she did, I missed it. Yeah, Natalie. Well, the first person that doesn't dry their page and emails me, then I'll send them to you. Okay? Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so let's. I'm waiting to see if Pam posts her email. I mean, her blog. I mean, her YouTube channel. Okay, thanks for coming in, One of a Quan. Nice to have you here. One of a Quan, this is our first time here live. Elon, thanks Pam. Elon QP for Queen Pam. ELON, Elon QP for Queen Pam. Yeah, she's the one that made that for me. Okay, so let's go ahead and move the wax paper. And let's dry this, and then we'll add some more shades. So let's hit it with the heat gun. Again, it will buckle a little bit. That doesn't bother me, but especially if you do a big background like this, you're going to get some buckling. If that bothers you, it's probably not the kind of medium you want to use. Call you Sam? Okay. All right, Sam. Yeah, follow her on IG. Oh, Haley's there. Haley's online. Hi, Haley. Were you surprised? Were you surprised when your Nana showed up? Oh my gosh, Deb Boring posted a picture when she surprised her grandchildren. Oh my gosh, they were all crying. It was so sweet. She posted it on Facebook. It was so sweet. Can I show the video? Haley, ask your Nana if I can show the video. Oh yes, I'm all about the Nanas around here. Trust me. So I'm going to go on the back and make sure that the paper is dry on all the way through. Same thing for this side. And I already started this page here. Nothing's gone through on this page. In case y'all saw me flip over and saw color, I've already started working on this double page spread too. So the color is not going through at all. But if you saw color over here, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, it went through. No, it didn't go through. I'm working on that side too. Did she say I could, Haley? Let me find it real quick. I got to show y'all this video. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was so sweet. I totally get it. Totally get it. But I want to make sure. I got to ask. She said yes. Okay. Let me go find her real quick. It'll be a second. Okay. Let me go to Debbie. Let me find the one video that, I think it was her daughter. Our daughter-in-law that took this one. This is the one, I think. I want to get the one that, yeah, this is it right here. I'm pretty sure this is it. All right, y'all ready? Get your tissues out. Oh my gosh, I'm tearing up. Oh my gosh, I'm tearing up as I'm watching it again. Oh my gosh, Debbie, that was just too awesome. Too awesome. Sorry, guys. That was just too much. So, yeah. Okay, let's do a little of this. I know, right, guys? Sorry. The Nana moment. The Nana moment. Okay, so let's get back to doing some shading now. All right, so we can take let's go back to our purple color, our pink purple color. You had an ad? Oh my gosh. Debbie, Pack or Die. Just go to Debbie's Facebook page. Yeah, go to Debbie's Facebook page. It's the top video. The top video. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to go in here. Now I can add another layer, right? Now let's go ahead and zoom in. Now that you got the feel for the whole page, let me move these out of the way over here. Where do I move them over here? Let's move them over here. Okay, let's make a little spot here so that I can zoom in now that we've got the whole, you got the whole idea, right? Where's my mouse? Oh my gosh, I know. All right, so let's go with that many. Now let's go ahead and get my focus fixed. Might be zoomed in one too many. Let's back out just a little. All right, hang on. Let's get something to, there we go. Okay, hopefully that's good. So you can see how pale the wash is. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Jean just put it in. Debbie Boring. Yeah. Okay, so you can see how pale this initial wash is. So now we can go in and add more depth and shadow, and I'll just pull it right off, right? So I can get in there and just start adding. But now I don't want to cover up the whole rows. I just want to shade. And that's the nice thing about like grayscale and those that have lines and color marks for you already. You don't have to guess. You don't have to guess where to shade. It's all kind of there for you. See? Oh my gosh, I know I'm still teary-eyed. Thanks for letting us share that, Debbie. But again, I'm only going to add the next layer. And then if I want it even darker, or another color in there, then we'll let that dry, Natalie. We'll let that dry, and then add the next layer. So you don't go through your paper. Trust me, guys, if I don't repeat those steps, I'll be the first one that gets email. You know, I always say, don't email me. I'll be the first one that gets an email and go, oh my gosh, I ruined my book. You made me ruin my book. Hey, Barb. Oh, and speaking of something funny and fun, let me shout out Barb here. I wasn't able to be there at the live show, but Barb did a show where her son's girlfriend and son, they visited Barb, and Nikki is a makeup artist, and she has a YouTube channel. And so she did Barb's makeup. Barb was so brave, and so she came on the show with absolutely no makeup. Our Barb did. Barb Owen came on the show with absolutely no makeup and and y'all know how Barb cannot stand glitter and confetti. She let Nikki do glitter eyeshadow on her. Oh my gosh. Nikki is hilarious. And Barb was such a good sport. You got to go watch Barb Owen's video. And Barb, put a link in there if you're hearing me, Barb. I'm not sure. Put a link in there to your show because it was so fun. It's like 2.5 hours long, people. So just be warned. It's a long show, kind of like ours are here, where she let Nikki do her makeup, and it was so fun, Barb. Thanks for being brave and doing that. It was so fun. Okay. Yeah, everybody look there at Sam's Oak, one of a Quan. Yeah, there's her Instagram name, guys. So yeah. Little Bellin posted a bit of Puppy Inca fighting her tail. Did she post on Twitter? I'll have to see that too. Oh my gosh. So many good things, yeah. So yeah, Debbie Boring's granddaughter, and You were brave, Barb. Oh my gosh. Barb was so brave to do that. I mean, literally, guys, her when with the fake eyelashes, I was scared. I was scared for you, Barb. I was truly scared that your eyes were going to be glued shut. It was so fun. Again, I wasn't there in the live, Barb's live show. All right, so can y'all kind of just see how we're adding some darks to all the flowers here? Just another layer. I know, Natalie, I'm just picking on you. All right, let's go back up here and add a little bit more on the buds. All right, so there's the next layer. So you can kind of see from this to that. We have a lot of fun people, and some are just downright brave. Barb. So if you're just joining us, I'm coloring in. Kelly sent me this as an early birthday present, and she had to order it from Poland. So it took about a month. She kept saying, is it not there yet? Is it not there yet? No. And then when it did come, I had to sign for it. So let me show you the cover again here. This is the cover. It's in Polish. The whole book is in Polish. And the translation is after other part of dream. That's the literal translation. Run through the Polish translator. But the artist is Karolina with a K. Karolina, Kubikowska. Kubikowska. But if you just put in Polish color book in Amazon, it'll come up. Okay? All right, let's go back over here. And I'm just pulling off the paint right off of the tip now. Now that we have the wash done, now I'm doing this like a second layer. Okay? So now let's take a break from the pink and go back to the hand. So we're doing dark skin. And I'm using a couple shades of brown. I just got sienna, burnt sienna, and where are you? English red. So kind of a brown and a red, because I don't want it flat. I don't want it just one flat shade. So I'm going to use some of the darker in the shadows here. And if I get too much, I got my Kleenex here. I'll pick up a little of both. So I'm just, while it's wet, I'm blending it. But again, one coat. Let's just do this once until it dries. So some of the darker shadows I'm doing in the darker, and then I'm kind of blending out sort of the redder color. Okay. But be careful, don't get it too wet and email me. So I'm using the darker in the shadowed areas. And while it's wet, I'm picking up some of the kind of a sienna color and putting the next layer. All right, now that's all I want to do till that dries. Because, again, well, I don't need to say it again, okay? Hey, Creative Zoe. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. I didn't see you come in. Oh, somebody asked me something about a darker shade. Wait a minute. Let's see if I can go back a little bit. Let's see. For the flower, it's the same color. Yeah, it's the same color, just another layer. It's just, yeah, the flower is the same color, although I had white. Remember, I added white to it, and now I just pulled it right off the crayon for the shadows. Okay, hey LBO, how you doing? All right, so here we go. So let me go ahead and hit this with the heat gun. So again, I want her blouse to look like a lacy white blouse. This, I think, is supposed to be some kind of a henna design. I'm not sure if like that's like a design on top of her skin. So really that should be her skin. You know what I mean? Like, is that just a henna design drawn on top of her skin? Probably so. So I probably should go ahead and do that as her skin. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to have to do 2 layers here. Maybe. And then kind of blend it in. Because I think that's a henna design. Yeah, I'll have to put another layer there. But let's dry first. Alright. See, you get subtle effects by crayons when using water brush. Yes. Yes. You can do it with watercolor though too. Again, if you go on the back side, that helps too. And this is not something come through. That's her faux watercolor look there, okay? Just so you know. Same thing on this side page. This side I've already started coloring. So you can see here where this is another page where I've done the initial wash. See how I just went over the leaves, the fern leaves, real loosely? I'm not trying to see right there or right there. And this is just the initial wash. So just to show you another page. Oh, but you've been watching recordings? Oh, well, good. I'm glad you're at least watching the recordings, LBO, Little Book Owl. Yeah. So, again, this is just an initial wash of a peach color. And then I went back and added some rosy cheeks. And, you know, just one color here. Here we've got 2 layers. Now I've got to do another layer on the leaves. And we're going to do some more layers on her hands because I wasn't sure, you know, if that was her skin showing through or some kind of a tattoo. But I think it's just a henna design. So that means that her, you know, is on top of the skin. So see, we can keep darkening it up with layers once it's dry. There we go. And I think maybe a little bit of brown would show through her sleeve. That's too dark. I want just a subtle bit of brown, like showing through her lace sleeve right there. So we'll just add a little bit, like you can see through her sleeve right there. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we got that. Now, we'll let that dry. And let's go back over here to the leaves. Hey, Steffi. Well, you know what? Real quick, while my mods are all here, let's let them herd cats. Okay, so we're going to go and do the giveaway, the weekly giveaway. This is week 3, pack 3 of the Happy Mail, the old Happy Mail art cards and all. Again, I have no idea which is in this pack. I made up 40 packs. I have no idea what's in this one. I'm not going to look. But we're going to do a random.org, and we're going to pick a person to win this. So let me bring up random.org real quick. Hang on, guys. And my mods can get their herding cat boots on. Oh my goodness. And then I need to take a quick break and go get some coffee before we continue on this page. How long have we been here? An hour and 15 minutes? Okay. So we have more time to work on this. It's not even 11. Okay, so let's go ahead and do random.org. So how it works, don't put in any numbers in until you see me. When you see me, type in go. Then put in a number between 1 and 100. Okay. Put in a number between 1 and 100. When you see me, type go. The first person closest to the random.org number will win this week's little pack. Which again, I don't know what's in each pack. I made 40 of these. Okay. So Look at my random.org. Let's make the window bigger, okay? So when you see me type, and you see other people, when you see other people put their numbers in, you know it's time, okay? So I know there's a lag. I like to let everybody hear, and you're going to see the go before you finish hearing me talk. That's just the way of it. Okay. So let everybody put in a number, and then we'll generate. I'm just going to set this aside for a second because it's flashing out the camera till we're ready. So put in a number between 1 and 100. We'll refocus the camera and all that when we go back to coloring. Because we're messing with the light. We're messing with the light. Give everybody a minute. Yeah, one number only. Exactly. One number only. Give everybody a minute. I lost my screen. Hang on. Let's get back there. All right. Everybody get a number in? All right. Now I'm going to type in stop. All right. So, let me get back to my random.org. Hang on, guys. All right. All right, so back to random. Let's expand our window. Let's generate a number. Come on. Give me a number. Stop spinning. There it goes. 63. 63. The closest to 63 without going over. Okay? So, 63. My mods will tell me. Closest to 63 without going over. I see a 62, but I don't know if it was the first one. That went over, Tammy. It can't be over. Yeah. Closest without going over. So. Okay, LBO, Little Book Owl, had 63, right on the nose. Okay, so LBO, who is Little Book Owl, we'll send out your little package, LBO. It's the first person. First person. First person. The first 63. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now, guys, I'm going to take a quick break, run downstairs and get some coffee, and then we'll come back and work some more on our hand here. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys, give me about 2 minutes. Where's my? Well, I'll just leave this here. I'll leave this here so you know. I'll just be right back. Well, where's BB? This is when I say I'll be right back, I put BB in there. So when you see BB, it means I'm still live, but I'll be right back. Okay, guys, give me a minute. Okay. Back to coloring. Alrighty. Alrighty. We're still here, guys. Looks like it. Alright. Back to our page. Still a little, I can feel it's a little damp. Let me hit it one more time. Alrighty. This over here. Alright. Hey, anybody else? DRD? Who else is popping in? Hey, Nell. Thanks, everybody, for stopping in. Okay, let's readjust our lighting now that let's refocus. Okay, back to our coloring. Now again, we can add more layers now that it's dry. Where's my water brush? Here we go. So I'm going to add another little bit more shading right underneath the sleeve there. Maybe just a little more. See, again, you can follow the lines of the color book page to give you an idea where to go. All right. But you just got to build it up in layers like you do any kind of watercolor. I like that. All right, she needs some polish. Let's go with the same, let's go with the pink or the magenta that we've been using. Put a little polish on that fingernail that's showing. And there's a little red, a little heart there. I'm going to put that in magenta too. All right, I think I'm going to do this little jewel. There's a little jewel on her wrist. We're going to put that. See, I'm staying with all the same kind of like color family, right? So let's do these little beads or jewels. If you have any questions, put them in caps. Thanks everybody for being here. Do you have a tutorial in your vids on how to do skin? Nina, I've done portraits and I've done color book pages. Go in my playlist, look in color books, and if you see, you can tell by the thumbnail what I colored. I try to make my thumbnails what is in the show. So look at the thumbnails, and then also I have a portrait playlist. Night, Hibiscus, sleep well in Oz. Okay, and then maybe there's just a little bit of some kind of edging, maybe some little threads in there that are this color, just a little touch of it. But I want to keep the lace kind of white. Could maybe get in there with just a little bit more shadow of the blue on the lace. Just a touch. But I want to keep it white so it looks like she's wearing a lacy sleeve, like a lacy blouse, see-through. Yeah, and face it does take a lot of practice to do skin. No doubt about it. I've shown before. Let me see if I can just get it real quick. It doesn't take me too long to dig it out. Some of my portraits. show you a few of my portrait drawings that I've done in different skins, colors. So, and I know we're really zoomed in, so let's see if I can get it to focus. That's probably as good as it's going to get, guys, because I'm going to be putting other things in here. But then all kinds of... All right, wants to flash out now. Come back to Mama. Let's see if we can do this. Just all different colors, types of skin. There's old Dave. These are some of the smaller ones, guys. See my hand? These are on like 5x7. This one is on a 9x12. I'm just going to pick out a few here. I've shown y'all lots of them, my drawings before. Let's see. I'm just picking out a few. Here. This one is one of my all-time favorites. I love her because I put, let's see if I can get the flash back. Because I put her selfie stick in her eyes. I know it's hard to see, but she has her selfie stick in her eyes with the reflection of a window. This is one of my favorites. I love her. Let's see what else here. I got some larger ones here. Here's some larger ones. Thanks, guys. So, anyway, this one's got it. And then, you know, facial hair and this one, I did this one while I was at jury duty. When I was sitting waiting in jury duty, I did her. I love this one. So, yeah, so I think that's probably enough right now for you to kind of get an idea. So this is what I do as my art. That's my art business, is portraits. But I wanted you to see that I don't do a lot of portraits on videos. I have, you know, there's quite a few, but not tons. Because a lot of people don't want me to show their family members. Thanks, guys. You like the braids? Yeah, I love the reflection in her eyes is my favorite of that. Okay, so let's go back to this. So you can kind of see what we've got. Now it needs another little bit shade of, now that that's dried. Let's add just a little bit darker shading on the jewel. Could even add a little white highlight there with a white Posca pen. And that dries. Alright, so let's go now to the leaves. Let me get a nice dark olive. So here's the color family we're using. These are the colors that we're using and keeping it all in this family. Okay? And thanks, Julie Views. If you do not know, I know we've done tons of shows with design seeds and color combinations, but if you go to design-seeds, plural, design-seeds.com, you can find all kinds of color combinations. So if you're not sure of some color combinations, go there. But in this case, we have an olive green, which is moss green. We're using sky blue. We're using, it's just called purple, although it's actually a magenta. And sienna, burnt sienna, and what did I call this? Was Indian red? English red. So those are the colors that we're using. And if you keep like like 5 colors, now I know I've said this before, but if you have a bunch of animals on a page or something, like 20 different animals, they're all going to have their own colors. Oh, you like my Daryl Dixon? Okay, let me see if I can get that. That's in another pack. I have all my portraits divided up. Oh, here's Barb's son. Is Barb still here? Yeah, Barb. There's a picture of Race right there. Anyway, I have them all divided up by, like, I have my Gold Rush crew. I've drawn every Gold Rush crew member. I think there's 25 of them. I've drawn all those. Let's see, where's my Sean Connery. So you can see I've done some of these are my famous people. One of my, here's one of my famous people. There's Darcy UK. Yeah, I've done lots of, I was trying to do every month I was trying to do a YouTuber, but I got behind. But there's Shannon Green. Here's Packer Dye, Vicky B. Who else? YouTubers. I know I got more YouTubers in here. Bailey J. Gazbot. And then I've just a few famous people. There's Doc. Here's Mistel, YouTuber. Trying to rechat. Yeah, Will Terry. And then again, mixed in there with some Robert Mitchum. Here are the brothers from Oak Island. Who else? Oh, here's Glenn. There's Glenn. I'm looking for Daryl. Hang on. Nichelle Nichols. There's Daryl. I know it's flashing out, guys. Let me pull it back and pull it back in. There's Daryl. So, yeah. And I got some other famous people in here, but... Oh, here's Spock. Young and old Spock. So yeah, I'm just kind of quickly flipping through here. So anyway, guys, yeah, there's Daryl. Somebody asked about him. Okay, back to work. I know. All right, back to work. All right, so now we're going to go in with we did a wash on the leaves. Again, because of the dark shading and all, it's easy to find areas to add the next layer to, even if it's the same color. Can you see that real quick right there, how fast that goes on? And again, if you get too much pigment, just kind of tap it off on a Kleenex. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. That's what I do when I'm not streaming. When I'm not streaming, then that's what I'm doing, portraits. And I've done a few. I've shown you, if you don't know how to draw, I've shown you how to use a grid. I've shown you a few techniques that help if you don't know how to draw, to do portraits, you know. So, yeah, just look at my playlist. Marilyn. Okay, back to work. So now the next thing I want to do, how long has this stream gone on for? An hour and a half. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, after I finish these leaves, I'm going to get out the ink tints and we're going to go on another page and do a little bit with ink tints. Don't run, Eileen. Don't run away, Eileen. Because people have asked me about the ink tints too in this book. Oh, I do also need a little bit more of the dark blue in the background. So yeah, a little bit more work here. So this little fern here. Hopefully it's good to see. It's either it gets too bright or too dark. I don't know which is the better of the two. Sometimes I got it too bright because I know that it's going to need to be seen with the color book page. But that's better. That's truer color right there. So I'm just doing some of these little fern bits and move this tray so I can move up a little. Eileen. And Janet streams at 1, Music Jeans at 4. Those are Eastern times, guys. I stream every Monday, most Wednesdays, and the occasional Friday, all on Eastern times, 9 a.m. Eastern. So anyway, this is in the Polish book that's called After Other Part of Dream. That's the direct translation. It's not the grammatical translation, but yeah. Kelly sent this to me for an early birthday present. Okay, let's go back up here. If you have any questions or just gab away. Hope everybody had a good weekend, did something creative. Got to see their grandkids, Debbie. Oh my gosh, that was just so awesome. All right, so there we go. So we got another layer. You're welcome, Terrielle. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Okay, so let's do these right here. I'm trying to get a little bit of layers on each thing. But you know, you don't have to add that much. I mean, just this little bit. Look. You see? I mean, it's just really just awesome because so much of the work is done for you with the shading and the dots and the watercolor looking effect that's already there. All right, let's go back up here. Let's go over here. Don't need too much because that's already pretty dark in there. Shadows and everything there. Go down to this little bud. This rose over here needs just a little bit more shading. And this little flower. I'm not being, if you notice, I'm not being like real careful, like on some kind of like coloring inside the lines. Can you see I'm just almost doing just another wash? That. Let's go back up here. And again, now that this is dry, I can add this next layer, just like you would any kind of watercolor. But got to let it dry in between. Bye, Carrie. Bye, Debbie. Thanks, guys, for being here. Thanks for modding, Carrie. If that's the Carrie that's leaving, I think. Hey, Blue. Good to see anybody that hadn't been around for a while. Aw, thanks, Marilyn. Marilyn's posted my portrait playlist. Marilyn's just so awesome. If y'all see Marilyn posting in my YouTube, she's just such a she's just such an encourager. Her and Elizabeth, they just always are saying nice things on my YouTube channel. I appreciate it. I want to have another contest on YouTube soon because we made it over 1 million views. So it's time for a YouTube contest. So we'll have to do that in the next, maybe on my birthday. I'll do a couple of giveaways, extra giveaways on my birthday, and do a, oh thanks Carol Renee, and do a YouTube and a Ustream giveaway. First week of February, whatever Monday or Wednesday that falls on. It may not fall on my birthday, but it'll be the first week of February. We'll do something. Time for another YouTube giveaway. Okay. So can you just see how I'm just adding a little bit more depth with just the same color? Now you could go in there and make these roses lots of different shades of pink and red, but I've just found that on this particular book, so much of the work is already done for you, right? You just got to let it dry in between the layers. I know I'm repeating myself. Don't email me. Don't leave me a crap comment that I'm repeating myself. All right, so let's just get in there. I'm teasing you guys. I can take it. If the music teacher can take, you can't sing. I can take, you repeat yourself too often. Right, Jean? Oh my gosh, I'll tell you. The things we put up with sometimes because we love you. Oh, all right, so there we go. What do y'all think? Is that pretty good? Yeah. Alrighty, so there we go. I'm liking it. So now I want to do, I might have to do a separate hour. 11, 12, yeah, I got time to do one more hour. I think I'll do a separate hour for the ink tints, but I want to finish this one first, so, and then we'll back out. So now I'm going to go back to the, what was it called, sky blue? Yeah, sky blue. It's kind of a blue-gray. And where we've done all these washes like this, I don't want to go over, I want to keep it very soft there. But right along some of the shadows, I'm going to get in there and just kind of darken up right along some of, and then just kind of feather it out. Okay? So like that. Okay, so Kelly just messaged me. She's being a wise guy. Kelly just messaged, could you repeat that? I missed it. Funny, Kelly. Oh my gosh. Kelly watches behind the scenes. She's not on Instagram, Facebook. She's not on none of it. So if she wants to say something here, which she doesn't really say, she doesn't talk much here, but she'll just message me the message. Okay, so see how that's looking right there, guys? How much that's brought out the shadows behind the roses? Just by that little bit of darker, right, in the shadows, and then just kind of pull it out and feather it out so it, kind of washes out. I mean, I gotta say though, Jean, I know Jean will agree too. With as many videos and comments, I mean, I've got over 600 videos now, and with all the nice comments, we get very few bad comments. I mean, we really do. And so it's just so nice to have, that we have nice people watching, right? Right, Jean? All right. So I'm just kind of adding it right inside those little areas like that. Is it showing up? Yeah, it's showing up. Thanks, Bunny. Just continuing going. I didn't answer Kelly's comment, so it repeats. It repeats another extra time if I don't answer. I saw you, Kelly. All right, so let's just get right along the edges here. Let's make it a little darker. Yay, Bunny. All right, you'll see that? Y'all are all welcome to post your links in the chat. If you're here visiting, we allow you to post your Ustream, YouTube, blog, whatever you want. We share. All right, so there we go. See how that gives it some depth behind the rose? But it's not all the way, it's just right in tight, and then just feathered out just a little. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do her hand here. And then we'll start another video to do the Inktense page, okay? So that this one's not any longer than a couple hours. So yeah, that's showing up pretty good. Yeah, nice depth. Yeah. Nice depth. Marilyn. Oh. Yeah, so this was fun. Thanks so much, Kelly, for the book, because I think a lot of people just ordered it. And thanks for telling me somebody said that we were trending on Ustream. That was awesome. Thanks, everybody. That made us trend. Okay, so there we go, guys. I'm going to back out so we can see the whole thing. And then, where's my cap on my brush? Because we're nice and zoomed in. Okay, let's refocus now. There's my little card here, my focus card. Yeah, so what do y'all think, guys? Does that look pretty good? I like it. I like you. So, and again, you could add more little bits of dark, shade, give some more depth in any areas you want. But I'm going to leave it like this because I like it like this. Although the only thing I might do is that like henna type design, I think it needs just to be a little bit more defined, like, I think it just needs a little bit more definition on the actual henna design itself, if that's what it is. That's what I'm calling it anyway. Because, you know, they're kind of that brown color, reddish brown color. So I'm going to just give it a little more depth on the design itself, like that. Just so it kind of stands out just a little bit more. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bunny sent me a belated Christmas gift because she thinks it's going to turn into a birthday gift. That'd be awesome. Okay, guys, so I'm going to stop this recording. And again, we've colored in the Polish color book, translated after other part of dream. That's the direct translation without, you know, I'm sure it's grammatically different if it's said in Polish. And so if you just put in Polish color book or Karolina with a K, Kubikowska, Kubikowska with an A, you'll find it. And we did a flip through at the beginning. So, yeah. So, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll be right back. So, yeah. So, some pages run vertical like this. And some are horizontal 2-page spreads, like this. Well, I guess this could go either way, but yeah. And so there's just little bits of ferns and all kinds of things along the side. So here's more crystals and acorns. Again, apparently it's from, you know, her dreams. That's the title of the book in English, After Other Part of Dream. So, yeah. Owls. And again, some writing. I have no idea it's in Polish. I could run this through the translator as well, but I didn't. So, yeah. So I'm just going to keep flipping. So it's a cool book. Again, nice big black bold lines, which when you add watercolor splashes to it, are going to be probably really, really cool. Okay, these look like some Venus flytraps, exaggerated with teeth. I love that, right? That's a yummy book, yeah. Okay, so here on this cat, I did start coloring it with some Neo colors. So, again, I just added a couple shades of grays, a couple shades of peach. And then, again, if you add the colors around, like just pick 3 or 4, at the most 5 main colors, then if you do it like that, it keeps your page cohesive. So I use the pink in the ears and the pink in these little buds down here. Yeah. Okay. Again, more in Polish, so I can't translate. And again, I did, you know, bend the spine to make the book lie flat. And one page did come out by doing that. So, but I wanted the book flat. I'm thinking we might color this, or I might continue to work on some of the ones. See, there's part of her story is all in here. It's all, you know, in here, which would be awesome to translate. But hopefully they'll come out with the English version. Okay, so I worked on these two. Again, just some Neo color washes. Neo color 2. Let me specify. If you get Neo color 2 water soluble crayons, if you get the ones, they're not water soluble. I like to say that every time because, and it's just one layer. There's not any shading yet. I just put one, you know, layer of, see, and look, this one's wanting to come out because I've, you know, bent the spine as far as I could. So, some of the Polish coloring book with, yes, that's what this is. Yeah, so here's one of the pages that came loose. And I, you know, I can't blame the book. I mean, I deliberately broke the spine to get it to, you know, be flat. And of course, if I color these and I like them, I'll put them in my color, because they will fit. They'll fit in my binder. Let me tell you the size of this real quick. The pages are right at 9 by 8 3/4, something like that. So it's so cool, isn't it, guys? Maybe we should do a flower. This would be good. And see, you can still see sketch lines on some of it. See your sketch lines there? Would be happy the pages would come out easily. You tear all yours out. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. Maybe we'll do a bird or a flower. Okay, there we go. Welcome everybody to Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dee Dee, and thanks everybody for being here. Apparently one of the girls said that we are trending on Ustream. So thanks, Ustreamers. Oh, that's awesome. So thanks everybody for being here. Oh, let me loosen my cord back up here on my camera so it's not moving my camera. There we go. All right, so a little while ago we drew a betta fish. We drew a betta fish, and I'm going to post it on my blog, and anybody that wants to print it out and enhance the betta fish, because, you know, the betta fish is in beta. Okay, so now we're going to go on. I know Carrie got that. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on to this. So Kelly P sent me it's an early birthday present because, let's tilt my camera just a little. She had to order it from, she ordered it from Amazon, but it came from Poland. It's a little crooked. Oh, well, I think you can see it. So it does take a while if you get, no, I did not, Bunny, not yet. I'll let you know. Lindsay's going, oh no, Dee Dee, another color book. So what I wanted to say though is if you order this off of Amazon and the name of her, if you just look up her name, I know it's in Polish, I translated, I ran it through the Polish translator, and it says after other part of dream. That's the exact translation of this right here. Is after other part of dream. So, you know, like after the other half of the dream or part of the, you know, I'm not sure what the grammatical translation should be exactly, but if you just run this through the Polish translator, it comes up after other part of dream. Okay? And her name is Karolina with a K. I know it's hard to see. Karolina with a K. So I'm just going to do a flip through here. The lines are very bold and black and a lot of splotchy, and the paper, some of it looks like almost like like what you'd work on a pastel sheet of paper if you've ever seen a pastel paper, and then some of it looks like it's on watercolor paper. Now that being said, there's no texture. There's no texture. All the pages feel exactly the same, but it has the look of watercolor paper. See? And, oh, you got your new coffee, but yay, Muse! It's a thing of beauty. Muse goes, I got my new coffee machine. It's a thing of beauty. And it's got a timer on it. Well, anyway, so like this. This was already colored. So I think that the watercolor look, see how, and again, it has a watercolor paper texture. It's not textured. It's not actually textured. It just has the look, like it's like a photograph of watercolor paper, right? But because it has this watercolor splashy look, that's kind of how I want to work in it. I've done a little bit with Neo color in it so far, and with no color pencil yet. So you'll see when you get to a page that I've done. Okay, so this is already like this. It has a look of a piece of Scotch tape there on craft paper, a photograph of stitching. Okay, so this is already done. Yeah, Pat, I know. And so, again, a lot of splashes. And so it just lends itself for you to want to slop on some watercolor. And that's what we're going to do. Okay? Yeah, visual texture. Thank you, Kimmer B. Visual texture. That's the perfect description. Thank you, Kimberly. And so I'm just going to do a flip through here. This one has like jewels in it, like crystals and jewels. I think that's the one from the cover. Maybe part of it anyway. Karolina. Last name, Kubikowska. 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 If you look her up, I checked it out. It immediately comes up to her color book. Okay. I think somebody said they'll be coming out with an English version of this. So in the meantime, it may take a while if you order it from Amazon, because they go through like a third party. You know how Amazon does. And so it took a month for this one to get to me when Kelly ordered it for me. It just came Saturday. So anyway, we're going to color in this. I've already colored a little bit in it. And I do have to say, if you open the book to flatten out the pages like this, if you open it up to break the spine, you can't, I had one page come loose. It doesn't matter to me if a page comes out, but just be aware, if you smash down the spine to crease the spine, a page might come loose. I've only had one come loose, but just so you know. So we're going to do a flip through this, and then I'll show you a couple of the... Oh, you just put in Polish coloring book and it came up, Vicky S? Okay. Yeah. Hey, Vicky BR. Yeah, Kelly P sent it to me for my birthday, for an early birthday gift. Yeah. My birthday's in February. Yeah. So, hey, Taps. So we're going to do a little flip through. I know it might kind of flash out. We'll see what we can do. But I want to show you. She does have some areas that are colored. Now, the pages that are colored, I've colored, but not like some of these intro pages in this. It's all in Polish. So it did come out in 2015 and in Poland, you know.